Because you need to understand that half of the people on this planet, 50% of all people alive are females. So that woman you think is so special, that one you really want, she's so special, she ain't special, bro. She ain't special. Get that shit out your head straight away. Because the more special you think she is, the more you're gonna fuck up when you're talking to her. She ain't special. She takes a shit in the morning like everyone else. Just a fucking human organism, who cares? There's girls prettier than her around. Maybe you ain't got their phone numbers, but they exist. So you gotta go out and get them.
Say you're going out with a new person. It's like, what do? You project a fantasy on them. And then you fall in love with the fantasy. And aren't you stupid? Because you're gonna find out that the match between your damn fantasy and the actual person is tenuous at best. And so Jung would call that a projection of either the anima or the animus. You know, the anima is what a man projects onto a woman he finds desirable. It's like, oh, she's the perfect woman. It's like, well, how do you know that? You've like seen her for 4 seconds, you know, but it grips you.
One thing you have to be aware of is what I call the drama queen or the drama king, because that's not what I call, it's what we all call, but there are men as well like that. People who are overly dramatic. They appear very exciting to you. Wow, this woman's kind of crazy. She's got all these weird ideas. She dresses all this way. Oh, this guy, he's all over the place. Very exciting, very interesting. A relationship with them will be lots of fun. No, they're a raging narcissist who loves stirring up all kinds of needless drama around them. And once you get involved in a relationship, if you do seduce them, they're going to be constantly churning. They're going to get your emotions entangled with them like little hooks inside of you. You're going to be bleeding from them. Then they're going to like pull away, and then you're going to think like, oh, it's okay. The hooks get inside of you again and again. And years go by and you can't get away from them, and you just get sucked into their dynamic. So people who appear to be so dramatic and exciting can often be a nightmare. They're not always, so you have to kind of read the signs and look at their history and the patterns of breakups and how they've always had like short-lived relationships.
I think, a lot of men tend to be attracted to certain kinds of instability in women when we're young, right? Like borderline personality disorder can be extremely compelling and enticing and attractive to men. That would make a terrible wife and mom. It's kind of irresistible to a lot of guys, but once you learn, oh no, that ends very badly, then you know that's not actually going to be a good wife and mother. So guys have to learn also to be wary of that.
Women who will cheat on you, the one with low self-esteem. So I'm talking about women who feel absolutely terrible about themselves and constantly need reasons or ways to feel good about themselves. And she needs to please herself in whatever way possible to get rid of that feeling of self-hatred. I know, you should feel sad for her. A woman in this situation is likely to indulge in heavy drinking, frequent partying, drug abuse, and any other form of instant gratification that she can get her hands on. And self-loathing is one of these. Moreover, she's likely to flirt with other guys often, continue to use dating apps and social media platforms to meet people, and even reach out to her exes from time to time. Indulging in activities like these gives her the constant self-gratification that she so desperately craves. And if one day she wants to have an affair to make herself feel good, she most likely will not hesitate.
Imagine that you're looking for a stable partner, right? So you might think, well, what do you want in a stable partner? And at least in principle, one of the things you don't want is too much mismatch between you and that person on the 5 fundamental dimensions. So for example, if you're really extroverted and you have a really introverted partner, you're going to engage in continual conflict about how much social activity the two of you should subject yourself to. And it's very, very difficult for people who widely differ on those dimensions to come to consensus, because it's not just a matter of opinion, right? It's really a matter of different, if you're looking at extremes, of really different types of people. And the thing about introverts is they just don't enjoy large-scale social interaction that much. One-on-one, they're often fine, but in a group, they don't like that, and it tires them out. Whereas a real extrovert, it's like you isolate them and they just wither on the vine, because a huge part of what actually motivates them in a positive way is tangled up with social interaction. Another reason why it's useful to understand your personality is because I think it gives you a better crack at finding someone that you can actually live with over the long run. And we don't know what the optimal. I don't think you want to live with someone who's exactly like you, because then both of you have the same strengths and weaknesses, and there's a bit of a problem there, right? Because maybe an agreeable person can use a bit of a disagreeable person around them to balance each other out, and vice versa, right? So we don't understand the optimal balance for long-term thriving in a relationship, but I think we do understand the fact that if you're too different in your traits, that where you're different is going to constitute a chronic source of conflict.
I think it's necessary, or at least highly desirable, that you find the person that you're with sexually attractive. And that's somewhat ineffable. You can be confronted with two people who are, by objective standards, equally attractive or perhaps equally unattractive, and find yourself very physically attracted to one of them while the other one will leave you cold. And that's a deep mystery. And I've seen couples who get along as friends, try to bridge that romantic gap by will. I haven't really seen it be successful. So I think you need that spark that ignites sexual passion.
If a woman were to get with me and say, I'm only with Andrew because he's successful and tall and rich, and I'm only with her because she's submissive and kind and beautiful, are we even using each other? That's just called attraction. If she's only with me because I'm successful and tall and handsome and funny and humble and rich, and I'm only with her because she's submissive and kind and beautiful and she adds joy to my life, are we using each other, or are we just attracted to each other? The line between using and attraction is blurred. Then why are you with someone? You get with someone who has no qualities which are admirable, so you can prove you're not using them. I'm with you and you have nothing I want. That means I'm not using it.